This lesson will deal with the client homepage, and we're going to add demographic information to the client homepage. The fundamental resource for recording data about the client and their services is the client homepage. Data integrity is critical for accurate, complete, and consistent reporting. Data should be entered in a consistent manner. The Virtual Case Manager was designed with data integrity as a main priority to ensure accurate and consistent reporting for every agency. In this lesson, we'll be looking at the client demographic and family information. This section shows that this is where the client details. I've opened the client up, and their basic demographic information is displayed there. Now, there's different levels of security that we should talk about. All client information is recorded with the security policy of 3 different levels, and this applies to clients and services. One level is private. In other words, only your agency can see a service or a particular client. Or it could be public, which means all VCM agencies within the VCM network could see this client or services. Or shared means that you're going to collaborate within a group of agencies that are built and controlled by your administrators. I brought out a larger view of the client detail just to show you that there are several parts to this. One, you can put a message that will show up for your agency regarding this client, and we'll do that. Also, in this section right here, we see that there's a VCM ID. Everything has been blurred out just for security reasons, but a VCM ID is shown here, and each member of every family would have a unique VCM ID. Therefore, you do not need to keep Social Security numbers. We don't keep Social Security numbers. We only use the VCM ID. So you've got your name, address, phone number, cell number. You could click here, and if you have a web camera hooked up to your computer, you could actually put an updated photo, and it would show up in this area. You can even print a VCM ID card out. Now, with that, I'm going to go back to the Virtual Case Manager, and here's another client, and I'll just show you the message. We'll put a message here, bring in a okay. There we go. And I think I'm going to make this red, and I'll update it. So it shows above in this client detail box, here's a VCM ID number for this particular client, and the address and some information that may or may not be put in. We're going to print, I'll just show you. If I click on this, it shows a VCM ID card, which has got the name of the agency and its phone number. It's got the VCM ID number. And you could use this card if you have a card reader, such as maybe even on your phone, to bring this client up. This is just an additional thing that might be helpful. Now, if I click this button right here, this is an edit button, it will bring up the form that was originally used to register this client. It's got their name and their birthday, but every time a client comes in, you should always check to make sure that the information that you need is up to date. For example, what is the maybe now your agency, due to a particular funder, says we need to keep track of race. Well, here are different uh, options for race. Let's say they're Asian, but they speak Spanish. The housing status is that they are renting. And I might go through and add some other things. Maybe I want to add a cell phone number. Okay. And I look at these things, and there's maybe even some information down here that I want to put in that needs to be updated. Now you'll notice again, anything that has a red asterisk means it's required. If you leave it blank, it will not allow you to save the information. And over here, I put in the address information. And again, remember that anybody that lives at this address is part of this family within the system. They did change addresses, and now they're at 785 High Street, apartment number two. And now this is saying, okay, wait a minute, you have a client. There's some similar information to maybe some other clients. Are you looking for one of these clients that live at 785 something in this case? Or is this not a duplicate client? We're going to go ahead and enter in just the verification code. So this is to help you to keep from duplicating a client record. So I'm just going to type that in. It will bring us back to this page. And if I had I could update a client photo here too. So I'm going to save this client and family information. All right, it brings me back to this page. Now, uh, again, the specific details, but I want to show you, we're going to open up the edit, and I want to show you when I talk about data integrity, you'll notice there's some particular formats that we've used to ensure data integrity. These are just input boxes, but we only want a date to be put in here. So it's formatted to only accept a date in this manner. Or you have drop-down lists. This, for example, is language. And so instead of your staff person typing in English or Inglés or American or something that may not be consistent, it only gives them choices here. So we use drop down lists for that. Only a number or a text field can be added in here. If there's just a yes no answer to a particular field, then a checkbox or an option box might be used. These are all set up when you're adding fields. And you can create as many client profile fields as needed. We can put in family members, and it shows all the family members that live at this address. Okay, what we're going to do next is add some additional information. So we will close on this particular lesson and we'll pick you up on the next lesson.